Right. Going on. So it says here, 8. And David inquired of Yahweh, at Yahweh, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And the Heavenly Father answered him, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all, 100%. So David went, he and 600 men that were with him. And by the way, they did blame him. They wanted to stone him and say, it's your fault. Because he's basically the reason why they had to flee from no, sorry, I made a mistake. I am confusing two stories with his son, what's his, Absalom, and Saul. No, sorry. That's what you get when you read too much. I read Second Samuel the other day, and it's still in my head. But yeah, when he was fleeing from his son, yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm supposed to say. They wanted to stone him because they did blame him, like it's your fault. I forgot what they did. I think he went with them to go to war to somewhere else. I think they're gonna explain it here or in the next chapter. I'm not sure, or maybe it's already passed. I'll leave it at that because my head is sorry. So going on, let me go on. So David went, he and 600 men that were with him, and came to the brook Besor, actually, which is here, the brook Besor, because here was Ziklag, where David his place was. Let me see. Saul attacked the Amalekites. No, that's the other one. Saul also killed them, but that was a story before. And I have another one. Wait, let me see something here. I think it was this one then. No. This one. No. That's Benjamin. This one. No. This one then. You know what? I'll leave it. Let's leave it at that. Okay, going on. Right, so going on. I can use the same map. I'm gonna use that same map. You know, I'll leave it at. Oh yeah, sorry, very sorry. It was here. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was thinking like, hey, I know I put it somewhere, but sorry. I used the one from Saul. You know, I used the one from Saul. But I used it because you can see here the Besar Brook. You know, the water. But this one was the one where the fight is being documented. You know, King David fights against here, if I'm correct. David returns from Ziklag. Yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna use this one, and I don't need to use this one. And if I'm correct, it will be no, this was of Saul. Sorry. That's for the next chapter actually. Jump the gun. Anyway, it's good too because of the locations and stuff like that. Jezreel, because this isn't, you know, I can give examples of facts. So let me stick to this one over here, right? So going on to over here again. 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 9. The rest of 9. The brook Besor, where those that were left behind stayed. So they came to the. Let me read it again. So David went, he and 600 men that were with him, and came to the brook Besor, where those that were left behind stayed. So they stayed there. But David pursued. So you had other men that stayed at the brook, at the water, you know, because they was tired. He and 400 men, so 200 left there. For 200 abode behind, which were so faint that they could not go over the brook Besor. Right, because they didn't have ships. And if you don't know, crossing water, you could die. see. If I'm correct, they still have it. I'm not sure. I didn't look it up. Yeah, a baby can cross this. Yeah, but the Brook Bajor was a very powerful streaming. It is here. Yeah, Beersheba, and yeah, this is actually Beersheba is here, because you had it here. Here's Beersheba. Here's the brook. Bezal brook. Here's Beersheba. So yeah, they kind of changed the words over there, you know. But anyway, now it's the Amalekite names. They named it now, and then weird names, Tel, Gamma, whatever. But I want to know this one. Yeah. Okay, this is the river now. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's Nile River. Sorry. Just basically having your imagination, like. Like if it's a real deep river, no, not that one. Obviously, you can just walk through here. Just imagine in your head this being very deep. You can't just walk over there, you know, on how they walk right now. Just imagine that. So let me leave that. It was very powerful. It's a powerful book, right? So going on. And they found an Egyptian in the field, Mizraim, and brought him to David, and gave him bread, and he did eat. And they made him drink water. And they gave him a piece of cake of figs, which is this plant over it. Sorry, this vegetable. Figs cake, for example. You know, you can make cakes with it because it's very sour, that thing. You don't have to even put extra sugar because this thing is very sour. Sorry, sugar. It's very sugary. It's very sugary. That's what I mean, not sour. I said the opposite thing, sorry. And 2 clusters of raisins. Of course, these are raisins, of course, but 2 clusters of them. You know, a lot of people don't know that cluster raisins actually grow just like this. It says right there. I didn't even see it. I was gonna look up cluster of raisins, but yeah, this is actually it. So, so no, if you're a Nazarite, you know you want to keep the vow of a Nazarene. You can't eat raisins. Because yeah, raisins are produced commercially by drying harvested grape berries and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of people don't know where this comes from because we are so. This is a cluster of raisins. Yeah, a cluster of raisins. Yeah, so this is a cluster of raisins. You know. Right. So this is what happens. Healthy, get old, and then it turns into this. Then it also turns a sweet. I wanted to say sour again. Almost did. Yeah, but turned sweet. And when he had eaten, his spirit came again to him. Because sugar actually wakes you up. But the sugar of Esau puts you to sleep, man. If you eat sugar right now in 2025, you're going to go to sleep. Ooh, boy, I have that often. Then I started thinking, like, what the hell is going on with the sugar? Yeah, I'm not eating sugar, man. You know, I haven't eaten sugar for a long time. Actually, wait. I have fruit. I have fruit right here. I'm not talking about that. I have another one, which is honey. I have honey right here. So not that sugar. That honey wake you up. If you're sleepy, you take that little bit of honey. It wakes you up, man. Not that. But if I take too much, I'm gonna go to sleep also. So that's also the truth. So yeah, if you take too much, it will make you sleepy. That's even normal on sugar. But the ancient sugar used to be more powerful, man. It will wake you up, just like with Jonathan. His eyes, he started seeing things like, you know, not seeing things like a hallucination. No, I mean like he starts seeing clear. That's what I mean. Let me go on. But David pursued. He and 400 men, for 200 abode behind, for they were so faint that they could not go over the brook beshore. Okay, I already read that. And they gave him cake figs and 2 clusters of raisins. And when he had eaten, his spirit came again to him. So he was tired. He was faint. Also, probably was hot that day, for he had eaten no bread nor drunk any water 3 days and 3 nights. He probably was already almost gonna die. And David said unto him, To whom belongest thou? And whence art thou? And he said, I am a young man of Mizraim, servant to an Amalekite, the Edomites. And my master left me, because 3 days agone, I fell sick. So he was a bastard. We made an invasion upon the south of the Cherethites. What? Cherethites. And if you look up the word Cherethites, by the way, it's going to say here. Which chapter was it again? It's the Crets. Those are the Captorims. Where is it again? Crets. Which? 14. Hebrew 3774. Hebrew 3774. It says Carathia. It's the Cherethites, or proto-Philistines in general. And the Philistines are Mizraim. So what is he? He is Mizraim. Egypt, as you can see here. Wait. Go to the word. Where's the word? Here, Egypt, right? So it says here, Hebrew 4713, which is Matazarayam, which is Egyptian. But if you type in here, Egypt, oh no, I already typed that, which is Hebrew 4713. Remember that? Hebrew 4713, and then you type in Mizraim, or you can go to Genesis chapter 10, and then you will see here Hebrew 4714, right? So you might think like, that's not the same. No, it actually is. Here it says here Matazarayam, an Egyptian, like multiple. But here it says, no, hey, what the hell? Sorry, here. This one. Matazaraya, and Matazarayam. It's the same thing. Because the root word of Hebrew 4713, which is this one here, the one in 1 Samuel 30 and 13, the root word of this one, Hebrew 4713, is Hebrew 4714. And that's what I clicked here. Here, Mizraim, Hebrew 4714. That's what I clicked here. So that's what it is. That's where it comes from. So he's Mizraim, that was a slave of Amalek, and the Crets, which is mentioned here. No, here then, yeah, are coming from. Let me see, which one is this one? Let me show you here. Where is that again? Sorry, wait. Oh yeah, look here. Gen 10, and then from Gen 10 you go to Cap Totem, Hebrew 3732, Kaptaraya, Crets. This is Kaptorim, well, Kaptaraya, and this one is Carathia. Crets and stuff. It's either the Crets or proto-Philistines in general. A group of foreign mercenary soldiers serving as bodyguard for King David, also executioners. So they're also, those are also executioners. But these Crets were the, let me see, you have the cadets, you have the cadets. Here. Listen carefully because I'm going to link this all, right? So it says here the cadets. A Gentile named Philistine. See, wait. A Gentile name IQ Philistine, especially used of the inhabitants of the southern part of Philistia. So the southern part of Philistia, see, 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse 14. So who were they fighting? The Amalekites. You have to remember that David, he inhabited the land of the Philistines. So these dumbasses, they came over there. I'm looking for something. Wait, here. These dummies, they came over here. I don't know if they was actually looking for the Judites. You know, I don't know. If I'm correct, I don't know if I don't remember if they said it, but we gonna find out because we're gonna read further. I haven't read this chapter in a while. I was reading the second one, like a chapter in the second one. I think it was 2 Samuel 17. Oh no, 1 Kings. Sorry, I was reading 1 Kings. Sorry about that. But it was mentioning 2 Samuel 17 and stuff like that, so that's why I remember it. But anyway, they came to rob the Philistines, and the Philistines are from here. It explains here. So here, Amos chapter 9 verse 7. Are ye not as the children of Cush unto me, O children of Israel, Yasharallah, saith Yahweh, Ethiopian shall Cush? Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Mizraim? Yes, you did, Lord. And the Philistines from Kaptor, and the Syrians from Kir. The Philistines were brought from Kaptor. Now, where is Kaptor? Here, cadets. Here. This one. Here. The cadets were here. And who was there? Paul went there too, by the way. Paul, on his travel, his journey, he went there too. That's also mentioned in the New Testament, literally in the scriptures. So let me see something. Let me see. This one. Okay, you have here Kaptorim were here, and then how you call him again? Japhet. Japhet was here too. Japhet was here, not here too, but Japhet was here. And by the way, this is also mentioned in the New Testament. They went there too. Saul went. No. Let me say it better. It's mentioned in the New Testament, but Paul went here, Kaptorim, and he also went here to Malta. He also went to here and stuff like that, and he went here too. But I'll get to that, Lord willing, in the future. Heavenly Father willing, of course. Here you had Kaptorim, but who is Kaptorim? So if you go to the book of Genesis chapter 10, here, Genesis chapter 10 verse 10 verse 13, and Mizraim begat Ludim and Anamim and Lehabim and Naphthuhim and Pathrizim and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistim. So the Philistines are Mizraimites. Going on, and Kaptorim, also Mizraim. And then it goes on with Canaan begetting Sidon, and the sister city of Sidon is Tyre. So Tyre are Canaanites also, right? And Tyre was greater than Sidon. And the prince of Tyrus or Tyre is the same thing. Yeah, he was very great. He was so great that King Solomon went to him, and and even King David was friends with him. You know, but the Lord liked him, and then he started to become wicked, and the Lord destroyed him. Just like Nebuchadnezzar. The Nebuchadnezzar was liked. He was the head of gold, for goodness sake. You know, the Lord liked him, Yeah, and then the Lord destroyed him. He was a cup in the Lord's hand. Now the modern day cup in the hand of the Lord is Esau. He's the new prince of Tyrus of Tyre, or Tyre, tomato. He's also the king of Babylon. He's also the king of Assyria now. He's all these kings put together because he gathered unto him, he heaped unto him all nations, and then he takes their customs and make it his, as if he's this great guy. He is to a certain degree, but he's over his head, just like in Obadiah chapter 1 explains. You're too proud and you're gonna die for that. Anyway, so it says here Philistine, right? If you click on the word Philistine, Hebrew 64:30, it says Philistine, immigrants. They are immigrants because they immigrated into the land of Canaan and then they lived in Philistia. So, an inhabitant of Philistia, which is that land. But they are Philistine, which is a man. Descendant of Mizraim who immigrated from Kaptor, Kret. Yeah, it is Kret. Kaptor is a man. But in the English, they call it Krets. Now, the Krets is now a land, but the land is actually named after a man. Kaptor. It's the Greeks that called it Krets going on. But it's a man, Kaptor. But, just like the land of Canaan, it's a man, but the land was named after the people, after that man, and then the people were spread out there, and then they call it the land of Canaan because the Canaanites were there, right? But the Mizraim was there too because they was the Philistines. But anyway, going on. That's why Philistia, it's always separately mentioned in the scriptures compared to the Canaanites. And once you start understanding that, then you're going to understand like, oh, that's why it's always mentioned that they're the Philistines and not the Canaanites and stuff like that. So anyway, Joshua chapter 13 shows you that it was the Philistines and the Canaanites that went to go do stuff and stuff like that. But anyway, you can read that chapter for yourself if you have the time. Judges chapter 3 also. So it says here, descendants of Mizraim from Kaptor, the island of Kaptor. That's exactly where they came from. That's where the Lord got them from, and then put them in the Lord put them in the midst of, let me show you. So what did the Lord do? Amos chapter 2, sorry, chapter, I saw 2, that's why. I said 2. Amos, I saw S. Amos chapter 9 verse 7. So the rest is, I'm going to just read the rest. And the Philistines from Kaptor. So the Heavenly Father, He's the one that got the Philistines from among the people of Kaptor to come into the land of Israel. Why did He do that? Judges chapter 2 verse 21. 20. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. And He said, because that this people had transgressed my covenant which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, which is the prophets, and also the word of the Lord that came through the prophets, but yeah, and the Bible, also the word of the voice of the Lord, because the Bible talks to you. Verse 21, I also will not henceforth drive any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died. Why? ... These two ... here. That through them to the nations I may test Israel. How? Whether they will keep the way of Yahweh to walk therein as their fathers did keep it or not. How would the Lord go and do that? He will keep them there near you to see if you're going to make children with them, if you're going to follow after their gods. So us being in the midst of our heathen enemies, what will most likely happen? I have often seen this, that it's fucked up, but still it happens. You will have Jacob descendants that don't want to live in the midst of Jacob descendants because they hate them. There's a difference between black people and niggers. That's what they say. I don't want to live amongst them niggers. I want to live amongst white people where I'm safe and all these things, more educated and speak better than all these niggers, with the Ibani nigger language, nigger. and then they go live in the midst of them. But what's going to happen to their daughters and their sons? They're going to suck caucus pee. They're going to have children with caucus females and stuff like that. That's what's going to happen to them. A lot of times, not all the times, but a lot of times it's going to happen because they have no one growing up to look upon and be like, I want to be with you. But sometimes, even in the midst of those caucus, the daughter will still grow up and kind of disgust them, like, ew, I don't want to lay with you. I want to go back to the places where the jakes are and get me a man there and stuff like that. And this is not like America. So you do have it, because if I hear a Jacob descendant speak like a Dutch person, like actually a Dutch it sounds funny because they have an accent. I have an accent too, but I have a nigga accent. When I speak Dutch, they know where I'm from. As soon as I open my mouth, they be like, "Ah, you from there," and I know where they're from when they open their mouth and talk to me, or if I just hear them talking in the metro or the train or whatever, wherever I am, grocery store or something like that. If I'm in another neighborhood, if I hear them talk, I know exactly where they're, not exactly, but I know that they're not from you could say the hood, you know, the hood and the neighborhood and stuff like that. So I know. And but that's going to happen to them, not all the time, of course, but it does often happen, that through them I may prove it. Okay, rid of it. Therefore the Lord left those nations, and some of them he brought. He didn't just leave them. He brought them over to the land to live in the midst of the Israelites on purpose, to see, are you going to make children with them or not, you dumbass? And we did. Because some of them are actually very pretty. You know, and some of the men are very, the men of the heathen nations, all women are attracted to them. And back in the days, we gave our daughter's hand, you know, to them. Nowadays, they willingly go out there and seek other people, and they hate you too. They hate the men. But back in the day, it wasn't really like that. It was not like, you know, they, even nowadays you still have so-called black females. They go, I mean, give it other side. Most of the time, when, actually nearly always, when the Edomite or Chinese female or stuff like that, when they go to seek so-called Jake men, so I wanted to say so-called black men, or whether it be the Latin brothers or the natives and stuff like that. We don't have a lot of native here in Europe, so I can't really talk about that. I am from South America. You have them there, so that's another thing. But you don't see them hating on their own people when they date so-called black men. But when the so-called black female, when they date other races, they will hate you. They do it because they want to fight and rebel against you. Something, it's just crazy shit, you know. So it's some delusional stuff going on around there. But back in the days, we used to give our daughter's hand. They used to ask our daughter's hand, and we used to give them, because then we had power over our daughters to give it or not give it. But now your daughters go willingly, bro. By the time that you find out that your daughter has a new boyfriend, she introduces you to him after they done sucked each other off and all that type of crazy stuff, you know. She's not a virgin, you know. So yeah. Therefore the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily. Neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. He didn't give Joshua them to kill them. He left them in the midst of them, just like how you have here, on purpose. I'm starting to remember them. I'm starting to remember them. This one I don't remember that good yet. Oh, it's 28. It's 28. Okay, cool. Joshua 1:21. And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites that inhabited Jerusalem. They didn't. They didn't want to do it neither. And this is Judges chapter 1. And then in Judges chapter 2, we started to worship their gods. So the Lord killed us. By them. He made them kill us. But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem unto this day. Joshua 15:63. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, they were the original inhabitants of Jerusalem, which was called Jebusi. The children of Judah could not drive them out. They couldn't, because they were too strong for us. But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day. So they were in the midst of us. But the Lord caused it to where we couldn't beat them up. They were strong as shit, boy. You can fight against them. They had Satan. What you gonna do? You gonna fight? You gonna fight against them? You gonna die. Why? This is what we were doing in the midst of ourselves. Joshua chapter 7 verse 11. Israel had sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing. You can read the book here before to find out. Or this chapter, if you have the time. And have stolen also, so we sinned. And dissembled also. Hidden and took apart and hidden. And they have put it even among their own stuff, as if it was theirs. Meanwhile, they're a bunch of thieves. It was actually one person. It was this guy. Where is it? He was from the tribe of Judah. His name was Achan. Achan was his name. Therefore, because he stole, therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies. That's why. So we died. But turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you anymore. Wow, just for stealing. The stealing, the Lord leave you. Yeah, man. And it was just one person that stole. But because of one person, almost 36 men died. So when they found out who that person was, they burned him with fire and bouldered him with stones. They bouldered his ass first, and then burned his ass with fire. Where is that one? They stoned him with stones, and they burned him with fire. Not just him, his family too. His wife didn't die. She was most likely not a part of the trick. It was one man that actually geared them up. You know, the father, he's gone. You know, you have these fathers that encourage their children to steal with him. Or these mothers that encourage their children to steal for them and with them and stuff like that. That's what he did. It's not explained like that, but the reason why I come to that conclusion is because it says here, Achan, the son of Zerah, and silver, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen. I don't think they had nothing to do with that, because maybe they carried the stolen stuff. I don't know. And his asses, his donkeys, and his sheep. I don't think his sheep had anything to do with it. But anything that belongeth unto him, because the sheep don't steal. Well, what are you going to do? Make them carry stuff or something like that? I don't know. It's possible. But I don't see people, put things on sheep to make them carry stuff. I don't think so. Anyway, and his tent they took, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Angkor. So Joshua burnt them and stuff like that. But the thing is, you don't see his wife. His wife didn't get burned, so that made me think like maybe she didn't do anything, because she's not mentioned here to be killed. And maybe they did, but then again, I don't know if they did. Maybe, because I don't think the sheep and the donkeys had anything to do with it. They could have put the stuff among the donkeys, because it did say that he dissembled. And what does dissembled mean? Conceal, disguise, dissimulate, which means to take one stuff, to take let me see here. Yeah, concealed. They put it in stuff. It's like you can take stuff apart. Let me see something. Semblance. Basically you hide stuff, but let's say there's something big, like a big thing, and then you disassemble it, and then you hit it, because now it's smaller and you can just put it in different locations and stuff like that. And then when you're somewhere else, you can put it back together, just like a IKEA cupboard or something like that, like a cupboard. You disassemble it. It doesn't mean that he disassembles stuff, but I'm giving you an example that how are you going to steal this? You're not going to steal this, man. In the midst of people, their eyes. What are you going to do is you're going to take it apart You gonna put it in the car or something, and then you take it away. You know, it could be a smaller cupboard or something like that. But anyway, so he got burned for stealing. My point of reading this is to show you that, verse 12, therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you anymore, except you destroy the accursed from among you. So he needs to die. So we couldn't beat them. Why? Because we was full of sin. If you read the book of Joshua 24, it shows you that the Israelites did this. Joshua 24 and 22. And Joshua said unto the people, ye are witnesses against yourselves that ye have chosen you, Yahweh, to serve him. And they said, we are witnesses. Now therefore, put away, said he, the strange gods which are among you. This shows you that the Israelites, until that day, until the end, this is the end chapter if I'm correct, let me see. Yeah, Judges is here after. Even almost at the end of Joshua, his life, these Israelites still had the strange gods in the midst of them while serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He explains it here. And also here, verse 2. Joshua 24:2. And Joshua said unto all the people, thus saith Yahweh the power of Israel, your fathers, who are they, dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time. This is talking about Mesopotamia, which is the Euphrates River, and Ur of the Chaldees and stuff like that. Even Terah, the father of Abraham, the father of Nahor, it's spelled different in the Genesis 11. And they served other gods. And I, the Heavenly Father, took your father Abraham from the other side of the flood, which is Mesopotamia, which is the land in the land of Shinar, which is this. This is it. Where is this? Here. Ur of the Child. This is the flood, and it. I will do a video. I've already done it. Here was another river, and this river was so powerful, man. It was so powerful that it was called a flood. That's how powerful that this thing here was. Esau knows because he has the records. They have the records, man. You know, they know, but they're going out their way to hide it though, on purpose, because they don't want you to believe. That's why they hide all the giant bones. Because if that's the truth, then wait a minute, the Bible must be true then. They don't want that. That's one of the reasons Esau is going to get his ass. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18. Extermination, because he wants to destroy the word of the Lord. You can't destroy the word of the Lord. You can only hide it. He's trying to destroy it. The Lord is going to destroy you, but he's going to use you first. You know, but our people, they always worship the gods of Mesopotamia. And how many gods did the Mesopotamians have? Over 3,000. It's over 3,000. 3,600. And let me approximately 3,600. It's yeah, it's definitely that one going in. It's more than that. They had more than that, but yeah, 3,600. That's a beautiful thing, because most of the time you will see 3,000. You had this guy Enki. That's why you see him all in these games. Sumeria, idol of water. And the Greeks had what? No, the Romans had what? Poseidon or something like that. The Hamites, they had Dagon, the fish god. Then you had, it's the same thing. It's all the same thing, because all these gods come from there. Because the powerful people were there. In the book of Genesis 12, it explains to you that. Now, Yahweh, no, wait a minute. Here, 11. Genesis 11 and 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar and dwelt there. The land of Shinar is where you have here Genesis chapter 10 verse 8. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty man, the mighty one in the earth. What? He began to be a mighty. Okay. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord Yahweh. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. So people started to live there, as it is explained here in chapter 11. People started to go to the east. So that's basically the cradle of civilization. It didn't start there, but no. Let me say it different. The bulk of it started really there, you know. So everybody started to move toward there and do the Babylon thing, and everybody wanted to be together. But the Lord is like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna bust y'all all up. Deuteronomy 32 and 8. When Yahweh divided, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, he divided them. He didn't want them to be together. Right. So, okay, going back to over here. But yeah, those are the Mesopotamian gods that the Israelites used to worship. So even in the midst of the miracles of the Lord, you still had them worshiping other heathen gods. The gods of our forefathers, which is Terah. He also was an idol worshiper. And Nahor also was an idol worshiper. But still, when they died... So this shows you that even though you worship idols, you're not going to hell. Genesis chapter 15, verse 15. And thou, Abraham, shall go to thy fathers in peace. Do you think Abraham is going to hell? No. So therefore, where did he go when the Lord told him that when you pass away, when you go to sleep, you're going to go to your fathers, Terah and Nahor, which is his father's father, and Nahor is also his brother. There's two Nahors, but there's actually multiple Nahors, by the way. But anyway, so he's Genesis 11 and 24. And Nahor lived 29 years and begot Terah. And Nahor lived after he begot Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters, which are not mentioned. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran died, which is the father of Lot. So Haran died, but Nahor was the brother of Abraham, but Nahor was the grandfather of Abraham. So it shows you here that thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. So his forefather, his grandfather Nahor, also was there. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. If I'm correct, it was 120 something. 120 or 120 something like that. There's another proof that shows you that he didn't go to hell, even though he worshipped devils. Idols, devils, whatever you want, it's the same thing. You know, so that doesn't mean that we should be going out there. It's not a repercussion for you. You're gonna pay for it, but yeah. The point is that hell does not exist. You're not going to burn forever because you worship devils. Because if Abraham's father, he did worship idols, devils, you know, he did do that. Nahor, his brother, Nahor also did that. But they're not going to hell. It doesn't exist. That's a caucus. It's like flying reindeers. Either you believe, you know it's not real. But this one, you can clearly see that it's not real because ain't nobody coming around the chimney. A lot of you people don't even have chimneys. What are you talking about? And still you celebrate and talk about teaching your children that Satan Claus came down from the chimney and put some stuff in your socks, your children's socks and stuff like that. You're lying to yourself and to your children. But they believe it though, because they're children. Therefore the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. Judges chapter 3 verse 1. I just read Judges 3 and 23. Now these are the nations that the Lord left to prove Israel by them, as even as many of Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan. Only that the generation of the children of, why did he leave them? This is the reason. Only that the generation of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, to teach them fight. You're not supposed to be in the midst of them and be lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey. You're supposed to fight them. That's what he wanted. I want to teach you war. Look, I'm going to make them fight you and you fight them back. The Lord is a man of war. But what did the Israelites eventually start doing? Licking their boots, which is what they do until this day. And the modern day Canaanites is basically Esau. We're living in the midst of them. Of course, we are in the midst of Ishmael too. We are in the midst of Moab, Ammon, all these other nations. We are in the midst of them too. So you know. And what do our people do? Make babies with them. That's what a nigga does. You know. Whether you call yourself blank people or you call yourself a nigga, doesn't matter. Namely, the 5 lords of the Philistines and all the Canaanites. See, distinguished from one another. And the Sidonians, but the Sidonians are Canaanites because the Sidonians were the first sons of Canaan. Anyway, so going on. Yeah, right. So it was the Lord that brought them to us. So Philistine. Okay, so it says here, Crets to the western sea coast of Canaan. They was living there, Philistia. Okay, so now Philistine. And then you have Captor, which is Hebrew 37:32. It says here, Captor, a crown. Kretz, as the inhabitants of Captor, as distinct from the Philistines. But it shows you here that Philistine, descendants of, Kasluhim here. Hebrew 36 and 95. It says here, a people or tribe descendant from Mizraim, which is Egypt, progenitors of the Philistines and Captorim. No, they're not. But I understand what they mean, but actually it's written not so good. So what it says is that, what is a progenitor? A progenitor is a person or thing from which a person, animal, or plant is descended or originates from, basically, right? So what they're saying is that a people or tribe descendant from the Mizraim, yeah, that's true, because he was his son. Mizraim is his father. So now they're saying that the Kasluhim are progenitors of the Philistine. What? A people or tribe descendant from Mizraim, progenitors of the Philistines and Captorim. No, they're not. Well, I don't know how to. Maybe I read it not good or something. Maybe it's supposed to be a comma. I don't know. But let me just tell you what people would understand reading this. They would understand that the Kasluhim are a people that descend from the Mizraim. Yes, that's true. But the Kasluhim are not the progenitors of the Philistines. Oh, sorry. They're not the progenitors of the Captorims. That's not what it is, because it clearly says here, Kasluhim is a brother to Captorim. So from Kasluhim does not come Captorim, and that is what it kind of indicates here. So that's how I read it. Yeah. So that's not the truth. It's the Philistines that stem from this. But what do they mean? Because here they do correct themselves. They say Kretz, which is Captorim, Captor, as the inhabitants of Captor. Yes, because Captorim is the man and the land was named after him, Captorim, as distinct from the Philistines. And they are distinct. What is distinct? Recognizably different in nature from something else of a similar type. So what is it? Well, the Philistines are also just like the Captorims, and they come from the Kasluhims, but they are not the same. These two are the same, but this one is not the same as this one nor this one, but they are brothers. So that's what they mean there, here. Well, sorry, here. So who brought them? The Lord brought them. And why did he do that? He wanted to test them to see, are you gonna fight them, or because these freaking Hamites were big, and they were giants. They were the Gath and of Goliath and stuff. Those were them, and the Mizraim people were big too. And Kirjath Arba, which was in Hebron, they were giants too. Lebanon, they were giants too. The other Amorites, King Og and King Sihon, also giants, but Og was bigger. He was from the remnant of the ancient giants, if I'm correct. Because if you look up the word, I forgot which word it was, but it says that, I think, if I'm correct, it says that he was from the ancient giants. So you had the new booty giants, Gath. He's the new giants, and Og was from the old world. Not the flood, not the flood of Noah. I'm not talking about that one, but he was an older one. Anyway, it explains that you had old giants. Anyway, so yeah, that's that part. And then going back to over here, which shows you that the Kretz, a Gentile name and stuff like that, especially used of the inhabitants of the southern part of Philistine. So the Kretz are what? Philistines. So now going back to over here. 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 14. We have an invasion upon the south of the Kretz, which were the Philistines. They came from the Kretz island, and then they lived there. So, if I'm correct, it was actually Kaptorim living in the midst with Philistine. Because once a people, here, let me get this picture here. Once, see here in this region over here, Kaptorim, you have the Philistines from where? From here, from Kasluhim. These are the ones, yeah. Their sons turned was named Philistim. And then when they became a big bunch of people, they went to go live with their uncle descendants, you know, the family members and stuff like that. So they went to live here, maybe half of it, just like how you had Simeon and Levi, which is the Haitian and Dominican Republic. Half, look here. Idea map. Yeah, this one, map here. Let me see something here. You have them living together. So now, this is a great example actually. So now you can put here in your mind. Let's say here were the Philistines, and here were the Kretz, or the Kaptorims. Yeah. And then the Lord took them, and then brought them over to the land of Canaan, where they lived here, in the land of the Philistia, in the land of the Philistines, the Mizraim Philistines living in the land of Canaan. Right. I hope I explained that correct. Right. So now going back to over here. Where was I? No. Here then. Right. So, verse 14. We made an invasion upon the south of the Kretz. Can't even pronounce this word. Cherethites. Wow. Cherethites. And upon the coast which belonged to Judah. Also they knew. Yeah, thought so. Because they knew that, no, let me get this one here. They knew that Ziklag belonged to Judah. I thought so. And upon the south of Caleb, which is also Judah, because Caleb was given, here, Caleb was, which was it, Joshua 14. Sorry, Joshua 14. And the last one. If you read this chapter, you will see that the whole land over there was given unto Caleb. So it says here, Hebron, Joshua 14:14. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb, the son of Jehunnin, the Kenizzite. They're trying to say that this one is a Edomite, and therefore Caleb is a Edomite. It clearly gives the bloodline of Caleb, so that he is from Judah. So they're lying. He's just a Kenizzite because he was named that, or his father actually. His father was named that, Jehunnin the Kenizzite. Unto this day, because that he wholly followed Yahweh the power of Israel, and the name of Hebron was before Kirjath Arba, which Arba was a great man among the Anakims, which were giants, and the land had rest from war, right? And upon the south of Caleb, and we burned Siklag with fire. So now King David is looking at this guy like, you telling me this too? You don't know who I am, right? You probably don't know who I am, right? And David said to him, canst thou bring me down to this company that you were in the midst of, that your master basically threw you to death because you was sick? Bring me there. And he answered, swear unto me, sorry, wait. And he answered, swear unto me by Yahweh that thou would like to kill me. he knew. Nor deliver me into the hands of my master. Like he didn't want to go to him no more. Right? And I will bring thee down to this company. And when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad upon all the earth, eating and drinking and dancing, because of all the great spoil that they had taken out of the land of the Philistines. And so they killed them. So these guys were warriors too. These Amalekites. Until this day, they're warriors. They're fucking savage beasts at that too. Okay. Don't forget that. They're very violent, these people. If you see what they're doing unto the people in Gaza, the Ishmaelites and stuff like that, oh, now that's hatred. You see me, the hatred that the Jacob descendants have for each other. Well, that's actually fucked up too. But yeah, the hatred that those people have, man, they poison you. They put ingredients in your food to kill you slow, sometimes fast. They give you pills and stuff like that. They Tuskegee syphilis experiment you. They Tuskegee syphilis experiment you. The Tuskegee syphilis of the untreated syphilis in the Negro, the Jacob descendant man, was a study conducted between 1932 and 1972 by the United States Public Health Service, the CCD. They call themselves the CCCD or something like that. Where is it? Oh yeah, here, the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, Center for Disease Control. Why don't you call it Center for Disease Destruction? You want to destroy disease? No, you want to control it. A doctor draws blood from a doctor. You fucking joking me? He's testing, bro. He's doing stuff. You know, he's testing on you. Anyway, they did it for 40 years, so that was not if it was an accident, right? And out of the land of Judah. So let me read it again. Great spoil that they had taken out of the land of the Philistines and out of the land of Judah, because they did go to Caleb, the place where Caleb was, which is Judah. So they killed them there also. Yeah, they killed the Judites over there too, and in those lands. And David smote them. He killed them. Yo, you can imagine how furious. Hey, his eyes was probably pouring smoke and fire at the same time. You know? You know? His eyes was probably like this, man. Okay, this was good too. I actually didn't want this one, but doesn't anyway. You know, his eyes lit up. I didn't want this character anyway, but it's good because I just wanted to show something. You know, his eyes and you know, he killed them. Boy, he killed them real good. That he killed them with vengeance. You know, and David smote them from the twilight even unto the evening. Twilight is in this one. Twilight Saga. Sun. This is twilight. Between the day and the night. This is twilight. Oh, it says it right here. Twilight. Even unto the even of the next day. Wow, he killed them the whole day, whole night. From the going down of the sun even to the evening of another day. So I think it was 24 hours he killed them. And there escaped not a man of them, 100% of them died, save 400 young men, which rode upon camels and fled. Yeah, 100% of them that, died there, and then these ones escaped, of course. Going on. Let me see, the 31. See, what time is it? Okay, cool. Let me see here. Verse 18. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away, and David rescued his 2 wives, and there was nothing lacking to them, neither small nor great, neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil, nor anything that they had taken to them. David recovered all. And David took all the flocks and the herds which they drave before those other cattle, and said, "This is David's spoil." He took their stuff that they stole from the Judites, and also from the Philistines. Yeah, going on 21. I was thinking. And David came to the 200 men that they left behind at the water, which were so faint that they could not follow David, whom they had made also to abide at the brook Bezor. And they went forth to meet David, and to meet the people that were with him. And when David came near the people, he saluted them. Then answered all the wicked men and men of Belial, of those that went with David, and said, "Because they went not with us, we will not give aught of the spoil that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart." So they didn't want to give the spoils that they took from the Amalekites, that the Amalekites took from the Philistines and the other Judites, the other Israelites that they had war with. The Amalekites made war with and prevailed them, they killed them. Only you're gonna get your wife and your children back, and then basically you take that and get the hell out of here. But they were wicked men of Belial, devil, it is an evil-minded men. They was greedy. Then said David, "Ye shall not do so, my brethren, with that which the Lord had given us, who had preserved us, and delivered the company that came against us in our hands." Yeah, we killed them, except for 400 men, actually. Let me see that. Where is it? Okay, let me color that before I make a mistake. Because I said, because I read this, so I thought it was like nobody escaped, but they did. 400 men. Right, which rode upon camels and fled. Right, okay, so going on. Let me see, where was I? 24. For who will hearken unto you in this matter? But as his part is, that goeth down to the battle, so shall his part be that tarried by the stuff, because they had stuff that they carried. They stayed with them there with the stuff there, or else somebody else would have stole it, and then now you had to go chase them. They shall part alike. So they're gonna get it also. They stayed here with our stuff. They belong to us because they stayed with our stuff, and we went to go get it. We got everything, so don't be greedy. 25. And it was so from that day forward that he made it a statute, and an ordinance for Israel unto this day. Yeah, this is the statute. That if you are with a group of men, let's say 300 men, and then 200 stay behind, or maybe 100 stay behind, or 50 stay behind, and then the others go to fight and they win and they come back with the spoils, You're supposed to give the others also, even though they didn't come to fight. They stayed here, right? They stayed waiting. And plus they was tired. So that too. Verse 25. And it was so from that day okay. 26. And when David came to Ziklag, he sent of the spoil unto the elders of Judah. Those were the ones of Caleb, the land of Caleb, the place of Caleb, the area. Even to his friends, saying, Behold, a present for you of the spoil of the enemy of Yahweh, enemies of Yahweh. They are the enemies of Yahweh because they came to fight the Israelites. And they took from them. Verse 27. To them which were in Bethel. And yeah, you had 2 Bethels, if I'm correct. Let me go on. And to them which were in South Ramoth. And to them which were in Jatir. And to them which were in Arur. And I remember Arur, which is... Damn, I clicked it away. Wait. Right. So here you have Arur, which is here in the land of Reuben. Arur. So he went to go help the Reubenites. He gave Reubenites gifts. Right. Okay. And to them which were in Arur, which is Reuben, and to them which were in Sibmath, I don't know where that is. I didn't look all these names up because there's a lot, and most of the time when you are like doing study or something like that, you're gonna get lost, and I am gonna get lost in something else, and then before you know it, it's like 3 hours later, and then I come back to the thing where the sentence where I left off, and I lost it. I went to a whole different thing. That will happen often. It happens all the time, actually. Literally, it's like I'm not even stable. I'm not even stable in one place. If I look up this word, I end up somewhere else. Anyway, and to them which are in Estimoa. 29. And to them which were in Rachal, and to them which were in the cities of Jerahmeelites, I forgot where that was. Wait, let me show you something. Because you had also another, because this is going to be important later, but not now. But wait. Made a mistake. Good that I looked it up. Wait. Let me show. Wait. Right, you had 2 Arurs. You had this one in Reuben. Sorry, made a mistake. This one is Arur in Reuben, and there's scriptures on that too, right? And this one is in Reuben, Arur. And then you had the Arur in Judah, which is this one. Where did I put it? Sorry, I think I put it here. Yeah. Okay. This is Negev of the Jerahmeelites, and you had Arur in here, the Arur here. You had Jitar, you had Eshtamao, Carmel, of course, Sib, Hebron, Arad, Baalath, Bir, Horma, because Ziklag was here, and then here was then Arur from this one. Oh yeah, this one here. That's not it. I made a mistake. Sorry about that. Yeah, good that I checked it out. Here you have it again. Here's Carmel. Here's Maon. Here's Estamao. Here's Jatir. Here is Arad. Here is Eglon here. But wait, let me see what more. So yeah, all these places are in one place. They're in Judah. They're in Judah, not Reuben. Made a mistake. Sorry about that. This shows you the name. These names, man. These names is the same name. You know, Arur. You know, they have all these names, man. I'm telling you. But yeah, I started looking around. I was like, wait a minute, I made a mistake. Sorry about that. Because Hebron is there, and then you have the Arur there. Arur, and you have the Ziklag, you have the Arur, And then you have the Hebron. Well, that's here. You have the Carmel, you have the Hebron, you have the Jatir, you have the rest, you know, the rest. Let me get this one actually. Wait, what are you doing, bro? This one, where is it again? Oh no, it was here. Right. You Baalath, Bir, Arad, Jatir, this one, Ashan, Arur. Yeah, it's this one. Here, going back to all these names. Jaramilites. I can't even pronounce this word, boy. I'm telling you, I'm trying. Jaramilites. Okay, going on. And to them which were in the cities of the Kenites. So, where were the Kenites? The Kenites were... Damn it, it's not here. The Kenites were here. Here. You can see them. They was in the midst of who? Why? Like I said, Esau, he has all these maps, right? So when you read the scriptures, you'd be like, yeah, that would be correct, because he went down to the Amalekites to kill them, as you can see here, Amalek. And it was here where the Kenites used to dwell, because Saul said, you Kenites, because they was hanging around them. I think it was 1 Samuel 15, as you can see here, clearly. 1 Samuel 15 and 6. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go, depart, and get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel, when they came out of Mizraim. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. So, when you would then therefore look at the map, you'd be, oh yeah, the Amalekites. When you would then therefore look at the map, you'd be like, no, it's correct, because the Kenites were said to be hanging around these Amalekites, and then therefore, here, this one. And then therefore, it is correct that they are here. So therefore, Esau has these maps. He actually is doing a good he's doing a good work. I'm using it. Right here, you have that one. Okay, going on. So let me see. Oh yeah, there's another one. Here it is. So going on. Now it says here, so the Kenites are Midianites that was living in the midst of us. Of them also we were allowed to make perpetual slaves, according to the book of Leviticus chapter 25. Leviticus chapter 25. Verse 30. And to them which were in Horma, and to them which were in Horashan, and to them which were in Athach, and to them which were in Hebron, which is the city of David. Well, he was king there for, what, 7 years? He was king there for 7 years. I always forget where, oh, 1 Samuel. Yeah, I think, or was it 2 Samuel? Maybe I'm starting to remember this one. Wow, finally I got it. In Hebron, King David reigned, he is King David, reigned 7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem, where Benjamin was, he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah. Right. So, verse 31, and to them which were in Hebron, and to all the places where David himself and his men were wont to haunt. Right. Because haunting a place is not necessarily, it doesn't mean that you're dead. It means you're hanging around there, you're dwelling there. So haunting, I like to haunt in the scriptures, you like to dwell in the scriptures, for example. It doesn't mean you're dead. Because he did remain in the congregation of the, wait, let me see something. Proverbs 21:16, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So that's where you dwell. You dwell in the midst of the dead people. But he that dwelleth he that haunteth in the midst of the understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall remain in the congregation of the living, even though you haunt there. in the way of understanding. Now, if you wander out of the way of understanding, you're dead. Now, if you have the way of understanding of this world, you're dead. The way of understanding of the scriptures, you're in the land of the living. You know, you're dwelling in the congregation of the living. Lord willing, of course, you remain there, and Lord willing, you are there in the first place. Because, for example, look at that thing that's happening now with Sakari. Everybody that thought that they have the truth just because they was listening to him. Look, he comes with truth, but then again, he dismissed the books of Paul. He said that Paul is not a man of the Lord. That is what Sakari is teaching. That's just bogusness in itself. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. There's many videos that are talking about him, so let them do their job. You know, exposing the other ones. Everybody's being exposed, whether it be for the evil, for destruction, whether it be for an example how not to do, and whether it be for getting chin check correction on a rapping type tip. Because the Most High is doing his thing. That's what I believe in. And yeah, all that is there in the world to be seen shall be seen. All that is there in the world that is not seen shall be seen. Or, you know, the other one what I said was also good. The things that are not seen shall be seen. And yeah, there you have it. The book of First Samuel, chapter 30, titled David Smites the Amalekites. He killed them, you know, which is a good thing. 400 of them left. Lucky. You know, so with that, I'm going to say Shalom.